Have you ever wondered how one of Hollywood's most beloved icons, John Wayne, fell from grace and lost everything to a filthy addiction that consumed his life? John Wayne, the iconic Hollywood legend, captivated audiences with his rugged charm and memorable performances. However, behind the glitz and glamour of his on-screen persona lurked a dark secret that would ultimately consume him. Today, we embark on a gripping journey through the shadows, exploring how John Wayne's filthy addiction insidiously dismantled his life, leaving behind a trail of shattered dreams and irreparable loss. Actor John Wayne was born on May 26, 1907. He was a well-known American actor who became incredibly successful in Hollywood. He was considered one of the most successful actors in terms of box office earnings. As of 2021, it was estimated that John Wayne had a net worth of $50 million. However, at the time of his death in 1979, his net worth was around $7 million. On the big screen, John Wayne portrayed the American hero and played important roles in Western and war movies. He is regarded as the most famous person in the history of Hollywood and arguably the most significant figure in the busiest movie industry. John Wayne entered the film industry while working as a laborer on the Fox lot during his summer breaks in America. He received a football scholarship and went to a school where he played the sport. While he was there, he met a young director named John Ford who made funny and serious movies. He got smaller parts in Ford's films from the late 1920s, sometimes using the name Duke Morrison. In the late 1950s, John Wayne started working on important movies. He was in charge of producing and directing it. Ford suggested director Roald Welch to Wayne for a major role in the Western movie in 1930. Even though the film was not successful at the box office, it showcased the potential of having a prominent male lead. Wayne appeared in many B-westerns and serials, including notable ones. Sometimes, he also appeared in larger films. In these roles, Wayne rejected the idea of being a glamorous and imposing figure on screen, and both men and women could relate to him. In 1939, Ford chose Wayne to play the character Rango Kid in an adventure film, which was a modestly scaled western with significant importance in the genre. This role allowed Wayne to showcase his abilities, and he delivered an outstanding performance. Wayne's performance almost stole the show and was worthy of an Oscar. John Wayne, a famous conservative scientist who didn't trust science, combined his personal beliefs with his work in a movie. In the movie, he played a character who investigated people for the American House Non-American Activities Committee. This committee tried to find and remove communists from all parts of society. John Wayne then began directing movies. He was well received in his role alongside James Stewart and Lee Marvin in one of his movies in 1962, which was directed by Ford. John Wayne, a famous actor, was a heavy smoker. In the 1960s, he got lung cancer. To treat it, he had surgery to remove one of his lungs. However, he didn't quit smoking cigars, which probably made his health worse as time went on. In the late 1970s, Wayne's health started to decline and he had a heart attack in 1978. Sadly, on June 11, 1979, at the age of 72, John Wayne passed away. His final moments were very difficult because he suffered a lot from stomach cancer. His battle with cancer began in the early 1960s when he had lung surgery. Even though he had surgery, he kept smoking a lot, and the cancer came back strongly in the late 1970s. By January 1979, when doctors diagnosed him with stomach cancer, it had already spread to other parts of his body. In his last few months, Wayne's health deteriorated quickly. He was in constant pain, and his weight dropped from 210 pounds to only 110 pounds. On the evening of June 11, 1979, Wayne's condition became worse and he was rushed to the UCLA Medical Center. When he arrived at the hospital, he was barely conscious and couldn't speak. The doctors tried very hard to save him, but he passed away a few hours later. The world was shocked by the news of Wayne's death, and thousands of fans gathered at his home in Newport Beach, California, to pay their respects. He was buried in a private ceremony at the Pacific View Memorial Park in Corona del Mar, California, and many Hollywood stars, like Frank Sinatra and Kirk Douglas, attended the funeral.